Cool. That works. That works well. All right. Let's see. There we go. There we go. What up? It is I, Professor Bass. How are you doing today? Let's see. What's that up? Okay, that's fair. I'm very curious to see what this looks like. Allow. How are we doing today, guys? I'm a little early today. Let's see who's first. Yeah, Fish Army's first. Indeed. There we go. Fishosaurus. I've been doing good, Lauren. How you doing, man? Man's got the glasses on. Yeah, it's Jason, not Jace today. Nah, it's Bass. I don't know who that Jace guy is. This Jace person you guys keep talking about. He sounds like an asshole. I'm Bass, though. Reporting for duty. Let's see. Okay, so I got some news for you guys. If you've been wondering about why I've been, hopping in and out and why I haven't been as consistent with videos for the last few days is because I've been going through the very tedious process of solving a few back-end issues. I don't want to go too far into them because I'm not a complainer and I refuse to. But let's just say that the interview rollout isn't looking the way I want it to look because of, well, me being a perfectionist, but also just some mechanical things in the background. So here's what I'm gonna do, because I promised to put it out. I can't do it the way I can, so I'm going to make it up to you guys. For those of you that already have the interview liked, I'm currently uploading the entirety of digital pre-selection to it. I know, not exactly what I promised. I apologize, but that is what you'll be getting right now. Not to say that that is the update. Like, trust me, I'm still fucking working on this. The upgrades are coming regardless. But just to in Nigeria we say hobele. Just use this one hobele, right? Is as a way to just keep you fed until I get this real shit I want to drop proper. Please accept this apology in the form of getting the digital pre-selection program completely for free as the upgrade to the interview lite. Okay? I'm lagging a little. Let me see. En un momento, por favor. There we go. All right. Am I better now, guys, or no? Am I better? There we go. Okay, let me know if I'm good now. One in the chat if we can hear and see me. One in the chat if you can hear and see me. We're good? Am I straight? Okay. Let me know where I stopped last when I was explaining myself. Next. Let me know where I stopped at. Day 2 of mod application. Nice one, pimp. Well done, well done. Putting in the work. Nobody needs all that. Let me see some real quick. There we go. Huh. It's It's not bad. It's not bad. I don't quite like it though. Give me a second. Alright. Alright, just to know. Can you guys hear and see me though? Are we good? Okay, there we go. What's the difference between the people pleaser and the selfless person? The selfless person has the ability to be selfish. That's the major difference. That's the major difference. The selfless person actually has the ability to say no and be selfish if he wants to be, but then chooses not to be. The people pleaser doesn't have that ability. The people pleaser is going to put other people first, regardless of their own, like the danger to their own well-being or self-respect. You know, is it bad to not go for the kiss on the first date? Absolutely, very bad. But I mean, because that means you haven't created any sexual tension. That's really what's bad about it. It's not just like the kiss itself or that the kiss has to happen. I've had a few first dates where I went out of my way not to kiss the girl at all, but sexual tension was still created. Does that make sense? As long as sexual tension is created, and usually that's, you know, the kiss is going to be a token of that, you should be fine. What's your thoughts on arranged marriages? That's one of the most pathetic things you can do. Like, marriage in itself is already very tricky enough. It's a very delicate thing because of the way it's structured and the way it works and the way it looks. If you enter marriage incorrectly, you're essentially fucking yourself over. And one of the most incorrect ways to get into marriage is to have it arranged for you. Why? Because you're essentially saying, I don't have the ability to go and find my own, explore my own options, generate my own options, vet my options, and find a wife for myself. I need mommy and daddy to do it for me. Pathetic. Pathetic. Don't do that. Let's see. Oh shit, fire, indeed. Remember the virgin girl? She said she doesn't feel comfortable with the phone call. Any advice? She doesn't feel comfortable with it. Pivot. She doesn't want to do phone calls. It's fine. She's still talking to you. She doesn't want to get on the phone. That's okay. That's okay. That's all good. Look for another medium to talk to her. You either keep texting or you can use voice notes. I know WhatsApp has voice notes. So go with that. Let me tell the boys in the group chat. I think someone already did, right? Let's say I go to the grocery store to meet women. Should I fake shop? Oh, nah, real shop. Like, actually real shop. Don't go to the grocery store for women. Go to the grocery store for groceries. And then see if you can get other kinds of groceries in the process, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's essentially what you should be doing. Like, you should, anywhere you go to meet women, you shouldn't be going to meet women. You should be going for whatever function or reason you're going there for. The meeting women part is like a fun hobby on the side. That's how I do it. That's how you should see it. Okay? Do you think being disciplined is depriving yourself from physical gratification? That's part of it. That's part of it. It's defying yourself from physical gratification in all aspects, not just like, you know, with food or with sex or anything like that. It's the ability to say no to pleasure and yes to pain for a prolonged period of time. That's what discipline is. It's really, like, all discipline really is, and I have a video where I talk about this, and I'm going to upload it soon. It's in the draft somewhere. All discipline is a threshold for pain. That's really what discipline is. When you're asking someone to be disciplined, or even to be loyal or moral or have character, you're really asking them to have a higher threshold from pain than other people naturally would. Right? So that's what discipline is. My sister's getting into an arranged marriage with some super rich dude. He's so passive. What should she do? Your sister's fucked. Your sister, I don't expect your sister to be the one to have the cojones, as the Spanish would say, to, you know, go against the grain and refuse the marriage or get out of it or whatever. The man usually would be the one to do that. So she's essentially being sold like cattle to someone else. Are you okay with that? Is that something you're okay with doing as the brother? Selling your sister out to some man that more than likely doesn't have the ability or the skills to even keep her happy, for money? Are you okay with that? So, you know, your sister's kind of fucked. Sorry about that. What do you think about chatting on Snapchat? Nothing wrong with it. A lot of people like to put a lot of emphasis on the kind of app you use to talk to girls. All I've come to find in all my years of doing this, and in all the countries I've done this in, is that different countries and different places prioritize different social media apps. In China, it's WeChat. In Nigeria and really all of West Africa, it's WhatsApp. I remember back in the day, like when I was in high school, it was BBM. I remember BBM. I remember Blueberry Messenger. Who even remembers that anymore, right? That was the big thing. Being able to go up to a girl and say, "Give me your BBM pin. Give me your BB pin." That was the status move, right? That was the thing at the time. Like, ooh, he's got a BBM, nice. He's got a pin. That was more status than asking for the number, right? That's not been the case in over a decade at this point now. But you know, in America, we got Instagram, we got Snapchat, and if you're crazy enough, you got Facebook Messenger. But where you talk to her is not like as consequential as you think it is. Just make sure it's consequential to her. That's what matters the most. There are some girls, very few, that would see their Snapchat as more important than their actual phone number. Like they'll give their phone number to anybody, but their Snapchat is like their safe space, their haven. The Facebook is for pretending to be a good girl in front of the family. The Instagram they haven't touched in years. But the Snapchat is where they get to really be themselves, like the real piece of shit they are, right? So they're more guarded about that than their actual phone number. And then for a lot of girls, I would say the majority of girls, it's the other way around, right? The phone number is more important. But yeah, just find a medium that's more consequential for her and communicate to her there. That's why I should have all of them. Hey, what's going on, San Andreas? How you doing? What's going on, you? Or no, sorry, your name is No and you're saying you. There you go. I got a siren into the roster, and not gonna lie, you were kind of right. I already like her the most. Her because is her BC is over 10. Oh, body count. Oh, okay. And she's hot as fuck. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, I told you. They're more exciting. I'm sorry. That's just how it works. The moment as human beings we embrace our animalistic side, the easier our lives will get. You know, I get it. There's what society and our families and religion wants us to want, which is the boring ass chick with the goofy ass flowy gown that doesn't wear makeup because she thinks it's more noble or somehow gives her more moral superiority over other girls. But deep down, there's a reason we like women that wear makeup. Deep down, there's a reason we like women that have DSLs and BBLs and lip fillers and all those other incredible shit because it's attractive. It just is. It's higher sex appeal. It's more enticing. It's more exciting, and yeah, it's just biology, baby. Don't fight it too hard. In what situations should you be purely selfish versus selfless? Now that'll take time and experience to figure out. But I would give you as an initial advice for it. Don't go beyond your own personal boundaries. Don't go beyond your own identity as a man, because your selfishry will only ever be called into question when you're asked or required to do something that might compromise you and who you are and who you believe yourself to be. The moment it gets to that line, be as selfish as possible. Everything up to that line, be selfless. It's fine, but you have to have the capacity to say no, though, when you need to say no. When it gets to that point where it's like, okay, I'll give you a small example, right? Like a girl you just met, depending on how cool she is, how much you like her, it's okay to do nice things. Am I good? Am I straight? Like the live if I'm straight. He hasn't even asked to be her girlfriend yet. 1 month later. Oh, they're getting married. The sister in the arranged marriage. Yeah, that just sounds like a terrible situation. You might want to pull your sister out if you love your sister enough. If you have enough say, you know, it'd probably be harder for you to pull this off if you're the little brother. If you're the big brother, you should probably stiff arm the other and be like, listen, I don't think it's a good idea for me to allow my sister to be in the arms of you. So get on my face. In what situations already that one? They said arranged marriages. Can you repeat what you said about the selfish and selfless part? You were like, oh, okay. So the example I gave in that part was, and what I said was, you should make sure that you should be selfless up until the point where you have to compromise who you are. That because the only time your selfishry will ever be called into question is when it has to do with your identity. Is when your identity is put on the line, and when you have to compromise something about you that is truly who you are. So the example I gave is, with a girl you just met that you like and you like to spend time with, it's okay to spend time with her, give her some of your time. It's okay to pay for the date and all those nice things. You can be selfless in that way. But you should probably draw the line the moment she starts asking you to pay bills for her. Why should you draw the line there? Because why would you do something that's selfless for someone that you just met and don't even know? That would require you to go a little further out of your way to do that. And that's not a sacrifice you should be making for someone you don't know like that. Right? You could be selfless, but that wouldn't be the right way to be selfless, because then you're giving too much of who you are in the process. Does that make sense? Okay. Let's see. They said arranged marriages have higher success rate than unarranged marriages. They said that because they're looking purely at the numbers. That's why I keep telling you guys, I hate most statistics out there. Because most people, one, don't know how to read statistics, so they don't even understand the information they're looking at. And two, they're not accounting for all the major defining factors that lead to the result at the end of the statistics. So it's true. On paper, most arranged marriages have a higher success rate. Now, what you should ask yourself is, what do they define as a success rate? It's very simple what they define as a success rate. The longevity of the marriage. That's how they define success rate. Oh, it's a marriage, it lasts longer on average than marriages out of love. Sure, then that means it's more successful, right? Here's the problem with that language, is that, of course, arranged marriages last longer because they're created under duress. The two people getting married usually don't even have a say in it. So of course it's going to last longer because they can't get out to begin with. They don't have the choice. You see the point? This is why I fucking hate statistics. It's just a bunch of people going out of their way to be satanically deceptive. I hate them, man. So yeah, on paper, they have success. They have the highest success rate because they last longer. But they last longer because if they try to leave, there's going to be serious consequences and repercussions for that. Right? So keep that in mind. At least in regular marriages out of love, if you want to call them that, there's choice there. So if one of the parties is unhappy or both parties are unhappy, it can end, and that's the happier outcome. You should be happy that people have the choice to leave marriages that they're not happy in. Right? I mean, you could get into the moral discussion and debate about if people should leave marriages because they're happy or if they should thug it out because that's what marriage requires. I'm not here to talk about all that right now unless you ask me. I'll give you that opinion later. But for the most part, yeah, like, I fucking hate statistics. A lot of nerds love statistics. Trust me, they don't take their advice too seriously. Don't take their advice too seriously. They aren't in the field. Exactly. Like, and I love Dimitri saying that, because once you start actually dealing with women in real life and having real experience, you can very quickly see how deceptive a lot of these so-called statistics are. Very fucking deceptive, because it's like, that's not real life. That's not fucking real life. I know enough evolutionary psychology to know, on paper, no matter how it looks, arranged marriages cannot work. Like, if at all they do work, it's a very small percentage chance, because you have two people that have to find a way to coexist with each other without having any prior experience with each other, usually. That's, like, according to science, the science is very clear on that. That is a recipe for disaster. You have a woman that hasn't vetted a man, and a man that hasn't vetted a woman, and as a result, no time spent, no mutual attraction, no mutual respect, nothing. And just put them in there and just say, figure it out. Like, come on. Also, in the countries where arranged marriages are common, divorce is socially unaccepted. Exactly. That's exactly what I meant. Like, of course there's a high success rate when, socially speaking, they can't even get out of it if they wanted to. Let's put it like this. If you gave all these couples in arranged marriages better options, or the option to begin with to just leave the marriage, and with no social repercussion or consequences, how many of them do you think would immediately decide, fuck it, I'm out of here? I would say upwards of 99.6%. The vast majority, like not even close. Not 80%, not 70. No. 99.6, maybe 0.7%. Most of them would be like, deuces, bitch, I'm out of here immediately. You see what I'm saying? She broke up with me. She broke up with me over my mistake, but it still checks up on me 3 months later. What does that mean? That's normal. That makes sense. If you've been through my course, The Science of Breakups, is something I talk about a lot. Women, it all comes down to the way women make decisions, right? They don't make decisions like men do. Men, we weigh our options and go with what we believe in the moment is the most logical path to victory. Women are very different. They go off their emotions and their biological impulses and whatever feels the most convenient, the most comfortable, and the most validating. Then they find a way to confirm to themselves that that was the right decision by either, figuring out or monitoring and checking out if the decision pans out correctly, or by making the decision the correct one by, controlling whatever factors they have under their control. So that's normal. A woman breaks up with you, she's breaking up with you because she feels in that moment like it's the best decision for her. It doesn't mean it is. It doesn't mean she's certain 100%. It just means that's what she in that moment feels is the right thing to do. So she has to, as a result of that, check up on you later. She has to stalk you. She has to figure out how you're doing. Because she has to know for herself and confirm to herself that she did indeed make the right choice. That's why I keep telling you guys, the rejection itself is never the most important part. It's the way you respond to the rejection. Because you can make a woman very easily regret rejecting you by the way you respond to it. If a woman breaks up with you and she checks back 3 months later and she sees you're having the fucking time of your life, there's no way she goes to bed that night thinking, I made the right choice. Like, come on. You know what I mean? So that's just, a little bit of female nature 101, right? How should the first date go? Smooth as butter with a lot of sexual tension. That's what it should be like. That's what it should feel like in general. Thanks for the gift, Cosmin. I like these little crown hearts. I appreciate them. Let's see. Okay, so every country has a different type of communication. What are we talking about? What were we talking about? Communication? I have no idea what that. Are we talking about arranged marriages there? Is that what we're talking about? I don't remember. When we're talking about type of communication, what are we talking about? Elaborate, please. America doesn't have the same morals and goals and ambitions as other countries. Sure. In general, everyone really wants the same thing. Is that what you're talking about? Everyone wants the same. Let me put it like this: everyone wants the same thing. They want social acceptance. They want security and safety. The difference in what we call culture, or cultural differences, are really just how people go about gaining those things, gaining that social acceptance, gaining that security and safety. The method is different, but the actual goal is the same. You know what I mean? What do you think about going monk mode for 6 months? In most cases, unnecessary. It's very few things that, not to say deep-rooted focus isn't important. It definitely is. But I don't think people understand, what most people define as monk mode is not realistic for most people. A lot of you haven't built that muscle yet to even be able to go monk mode for 6 months. Do you really know what that means? Do you know what that entails? Are you really ready to make those kind of sacrifices day in, day out for 6 months? 6 months? What is that? 180 days straight? It's a long time to win every battle. Because here's how it works. Every decision you make in your life on a daily basis comes down to the resulting product of a war, a small war that happens between your mind and your body. Every single decision. Whether it's how you eat, you sleep, whether you work out, whatever work you do, go to the gym, don't go to the gym. Your body and your mind are constantly at war with each other. The duty versus the desire, the brain versus the heart, right? There's what you feel like doing and what you think you should do. And those two things are constantly at war with each other. What going monk mode for 6 months means, and by the way, how you doing, Rio? What's going on, Pookie? What going monk mode for 6 months straight means is you're winning every single one of your battles with your own body. Your mind is beating your body every single time. Every battle. Maybe not every, let me not say every battle, because that honestly is unrealistic. let's say 90% of the battles you're winning for 6 months straight. Like, do you understand what that means? Like, you're going to cut off all sources of dopamine from your life, which, by the way, I don't even think is like necessarily healthy for a long period of time. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to cut off all the dopamines, the serotonins, all the pleasures and good feeling in your life. All of it is gone, and just to focus on going through all that pain. And that's cool, that's admirable, but a lot of you don't have the muscle built up to be able to pull it off. Not right now, not yet. So probably shoot for like 7 days first, and then see what happens from there. And see if you don't scroll on TikTok for more than 20 minutes a day. I have one wonder in the Bible. Don't we have strict instructions to not have sex outside marriage? Let me put it like this: someone needs to say it. Someone needs to show it. You know, everyone says that, and that is the assumption because Christianity is an Abrahamic religion. But if you're being honest with yourself, there is no place in the Bible where it actually says that. There's not even indirectly or outright. Like, there's not a single place where it says that. So the Bible talks a lot about marriage. The Bible talks a lot about people that are married having sex outside their marriage and stuff like that. The Bible also talks about immoral sex or unclean sex, like homosexuality and sodomy and all these other different kinds of things that the Bible refers to as immoral and unclean sex. But it never actually says anything about two unmarried people. And that's what no one ever wants to accept. Your pastor says it all the time. Your priest, your bishop, whoever. But if I ask people, go and show me where the Bible actually says it, they can't do it without finding a way to twist a scripture in the Bible and completely take it out of context. So do with that information what you must. Let's see. America doesn't have the same. Already read that one. Went and did my research. There's actually no place that says that adultery is what's mentioned. Exactly. Literally. That's all it says. I did my research too. It's like, it doesn't actually say it. Adultery is what it says. Like, God don't like it when you make promises and don't keep them. Like, straight up. He doesn't like that. Because he's a God of promise himself. So whenever you make a promise and don't keep them, he's like, I don't fuck with you. I give you an instruction, you don't follow it? No. But, and again, that's another thing people need to understand. God doesn't hate the actions. He hates where the actions come from. All right, this is something I talked about on my page very recently too, when we were talking about the Garden of Eden, Adam and Eve, right? And people think Adam was punished by God, Adam and Eve, because they ate from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. People think Adam was punished because he ate of the tree. And yeah, eating of the tree God was pissed about, but it was the fact that he listened to Eve. Like the scripture literally says, and for listening to the woman. Right? And again, why was God mad at him for listening to Eve? Because he doesn't like it when you listen to women? No, he's not misogynistic. It's like, I gave you a direct instruction and you allowed her to take you off the path that I put forth before you. Can't fuck with you. Get out of my garden. That's what God hates. He hates the lack of trust he can have with you if you can't stick to his word. You feel what I'm saying? What is adultery referring to? Adultery, in its definition, is sex outside of marriage, or when a married person has sex with someone outside of their marriage. That's essentially what adultery means. Which, by the way, a lot of people have also twisted that word up, right? Like, any sex outside of marriage is adultery or fornication. It's like, no. It's like when someone that is married fucks someone that isn't, not even necessarily someone that isn't married, but someone that isn't their husband or wife. That's essentially what God would be like, okay, adultery. But again, even, that's an oversimplification. Because here's the thing. The Bible wasn't even written in English. People need to remember that. The Bible was written in Hebrew and Aramaic. So, if you go back to the original words that were used, right, and you directly translate them from there in as raw a grammar as you want to, you very quickly realize a lot of these words don't even really necessarily mean the same thing. Like, we use the word adultery in terms of the actual original Hebrew word there, but the original Hebrew word, what was it again? I gotta go check it out. The original Hebrew word doesn't even necessarily mean adultery. Like, it means like adultery, but not in the exact same context in which we use it. Does that make sense? When you're put in a situation where you're feeling uncertain, nervous, do you think we know the right action? Like me, if I'm nervous or anything like that, no, I generally just think, well, I'm nervous because maybe I'm unprepared, maybe I feel like I'm not armed with the correct amount of knowledge or anything like that. But for the most part, I can still trust myself and be like, no matter how this goes, I'm still Jace. One way or the other, I find a win out of this. That's my general mindset, you know? Can you make your wife not leave you applying fundamental and advanced without setting the frame before marriage? If you're worried about that, then like you're missing the point of game. The beauty of game and the entire point of game is to treat women the way you would treat like free range chicken, right? Not to say women are chicken. I'm just saying as an analogy, the idea of game is to give women, at the very least, and this is gonna sound unethical, but I'm gonna say it like this anyway because it gets the point across. The idea of game is to give women, at the very least, the illusion of freedom. Right? Because the creature that women are, when you tell them they can't go anywhere, then all they do is look for exits. When you tell them they can leave whenever they want, then they get comfortable. Right? Like, when I was first starting out in game, I was watching and reading up on a lot of, you know, different techniques and stuff like that. And one of the things that I got like a little plateau in for a little bit there was whenever you bring a girl over to your place, wherever the sex location would be, wherever that would be for you. For me, it was my mom's minivan, if you can believe that. I had a little air mattress in there. Good times. Toyota Sienna, great car. When you bring women into your space, a very good habit for you to have is to, adultery really means to alter or corrupt. Exactly. Right? Because again, I like the fact that you mentioned that, because even that right there shows the point of what I was trying to say. It's not the fucking someone else that God is really mad about when you're married. It's the fact that you broke a covenant. You allowed your covenant to be corrupted. That's what he doesn't like. But I digress. Back to this point. A good habit to have when you're bringing a woman into your space is to make her feel comfortable. Get her as comfortable with the environment as possible, but more importantly, to give her an exit the moment she enters. So I'm a Nigerian. It's very normal in a Nigerian home to come in and to take off your shoes. And if you've ever been to a Nigerian household or any third world country household, as far as I can tell, it's very normal and customary to take off your shoes at the door. I had to unlearn that shit whenever I invited women over. In the beginning. Why? Because when you tell a woman she has to leave her shoes at the door, that's telling her there's an extra step that she has to take before she can get out of the house. But if you instead go, oh, no, keep your shoes on. In fact, leave that door open. Let breeze just enter. That's what I would literally say. Let breeze just enter and leave the door open. So you leave the door open, you let her keep her shoes on. Guess what she's gonna do? Because now she knows you don't have an agenda. You don't have any ill will or intent towards her. And why does she know that? Because she's willing, you're willing to see her leave. You're giving her an option whenever she wants to leave. Right? So because of that, she now feels more comfortable. What did they almost always say after that? Oh, no, it's when I take off my shoes. And they take off their shoes and they leave it at the door. As opposed to, you walk in, you tell her to take off her shoes, and then you lock the door behind her. Now she feels trapped. All she'll do, whenever you're trying to talk to her on the couch, is keep looking at the door. Real talk. All she'll do is just keep looking at the door. So, it's the same kind of concept there. All of game has that in its core. It's giving women an out. That's what makes them want to stay. If you're thinking, how do I keep her? You fucked up already. Your mindset is off. She's going to leave. The women that stay are the ones you don't try to keep. That's bars right there. Tattoo that to the top of your forehead if you have to. All right? It's crazy how God has a nature too, and he's understandable. He seems more of a person here. Oh hell yeah! Like God, like that's another reason you can't get me to not be a follower of Christ is because he's the only one that had the human experience. Because he was like, oh, you know what? Throughout the Old Testament, I've done nothing but punish these people and do this and do that to them and blah, 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 and try to get them to walk. Let me actually understand what I created here. What's the issue? Why is it so hard for them to follow my lead like this? So he came down. He said, let me have this first person human experience for myself. And then he saw it. And he was like, damn, yeah, I get it now. And you can see after that point, it's almost like the rules got lax a little bit. Because God was like, oh, okay, that's the pool of the biological impulse I created in them. Okay, all right, let's, do a little more polishing. All of a sudden, Jesus is like, blessed are ye, right? 10 Commandments gets abolished. Now it's, blessed are ye who, follow my commands, be blessed. As opposed to, do this or else you're punished. Right? God got a lot more cool-headed by the time the New Testament came through. There's a reason for that. Talk about tension. Does humor create tension? Do you create it? You create tension. You create tension by the words you say and by the things you do. What creates tension? Oh, by the way, what am I talking about? I have an entire series on this now. That's the best part. I have an entire series where I talk about what tension is and how it actually works on a scientific level. Go to my TikTok. It's an entire playlist. What do I call it, guys? Tension 101? Tension 101. Go and watch Tension 101. But the summary of tension is that, yes, you can create it. It is something you can create by saying something that would be seen as a threat somehow to her survival or her chances of replication. Now, not a direct threat, obviously, especially in the case of flirting with a woman. You're just saying something that makes her a little more self-conscious. The self-consciousness is, where the tension comes from. Or actually the other way around. The tension creates the self-consciousness, and that's what makes her careful around you and want to chase your validation to not feel as tense anymore. And by the way, don't forget, the entire point of creating tension is to create the need to relieve the tension. The need to relieve herself of the tension is what makes her motivated to chase your validation. Because your validation becomes the way to quench the fire of the tension she feels. Does that make sense? As most people live life by the way of tension, what's the level above it? Discipline? Yeah, pretty much. The ability to be disciplined is to withstand tension for long periods of time. Right? Like I said, discipline is withstanding pain for a long period of time. What is pain? It's tension. It's just tension, literally. That's all pain is. Pain is just another form of tension. So is anxiety, another form of tension. So is negative anticipation. So is honestly even positive anticipation and excitement. They're all forms of tension, and they all require some kind of relief, right? The same tension you feel when you're waiting for GTA 6 to come out is the same tension she feels when she thinks that you might not like her all the way, or that you might not be completely sold on her. Like, you'd be surprised how saying something that small makes a woman feel so self-conscious and feel so much tension in the moment with you. When you say something like, you know what, you're a cool chick so far, but I don't know, just something about you. I just feel like, I don't know, let's keep talking, but there's something in the back of my mind. I just feel like you might not be the kind of woman I should be seen in public with. Boom, that's all you gotta say. All of a sudden, she's jumping through hoops and be like, wait, what do you mean by that? What's going on? What are you talking about? Why don't you want to be seen with me in public? It's that simple. Stress is the same thing, right? Yeah, it is. So it's just like pain tolerance when handling tension or discipline. Literally, discipline is the capacity to... you can put it like this. Discipline is the exercise in increasing your tolerance for pain. That's what discipline essentially is. That's what discipline is. Because whenever you ask people to do something that is in direct contradiction with their biological impulses, you're really asking for a certain pain tolerance level, right? If you're asking someone to be moral or just or have a sense of character or do the right thing and be loyal or not screw you over in some way, you're asking them to choose pain over pleasure. Because screwing you over, let's say you have a business partner, screwing you over will be the more pleasurable route. It will be the more biologically impulsive route. Just take whatever, like the money, the business, whatever, and run away with that and have for yourself. Sure, he gets screwed over in the process, but at least I have something to sustain myself. That's a more pleasurable thought than don't do the wrong thing, don't do the pleasurable thing, thug it out with him and build this business from scratch together. That's harder. That's really understand this. Discipline is consistently choosing the harder option. That requires a pain tolerance. That requires a certain tolerance for pain. So when you ask that girl to be loyal to you, you're essentially asking her to choose the more painful option every time, especially if she's highly desirable and has options, right? Especially if she has better options, right? If she has access to perceivably better options, you're asking her to not go fuck, I don't know, who's the new hottest rapper right now, I don't know. You're asking her to not go, oh, I can't even use Drake anymore. Everyone thinks he's a lame now. Well, everyone knows he's a lame now. Gunna, I guess, is still cool. You're asking her to not choose fucking Gunna over staying with you. Like, really understand that. That is a pleasurable option for her. To be on a rapper's private jet or yacht or go skiing with him. To have her social media be flooded with pictures of him and her. All the different benefits that come with that. And you're asking her to not do that and choose you instead. Someone that probably can't even provide her a jet ski, much less a private jet, right? So you're asking her to have discipline. And that's why I keep telling you guys, if you want loyal women, stop looking for loyalty, look for discipline. You're looking for women that have a high threshold for pain. That's what you're looking for, okay? Why do women like when men get possessive over them, jealous over them? It only works when the man in question is a man that they want and they like, and a man that they have a hard time getting validation out of. You notice with women, they want to see you get jealous or get possessive when you're a man in her life that isn't usually that way or isn't as bothered or possessive. Usually, that's the man they want to get possessiveness out of because it makes them feel validated. It makes them feel special, right? They like to see a guy who's calm get rowdy for them. That's an important thing. But yeah, that's really what it is. They just like to feel special. It's a validation thing for them. Is there a plane of existence above discipline? Like, it exists above tension? Well, you don't got to think about it like different planes or so. You just got to think about it like different steps in the journey, right? Different checkpoints. But yeah, I guess there is an ultimate checkpoint, and that is what we call hypnotic rhythm. When you get so disciplined to the point where the discipline doesn't feel as painful anymore and the pleasure doesn't feel as pleasurable anymore. Or a better way to say it is you get so disciplined for such a long period of time that what you define as pleasure and what you define as pain completely switch. Now you feel pain physically whenever you think about going to the club versus you feel excitement and joy whenever you think about going to jiu-jitsu. Does that make sense? That's what you're looking for, like hypnotic rhythm, where the pain that you're trying to stick to is no longer painful, if that makes sense. I complimented her hair color and she appreciated it and talked for minutes and kept playing with it. Cool. I don't know what you want me to do with that information. That kind of makes sense. Was this a girl that, how do I ask this without sounding rude? Was this a girl that you're okay being seen with in public? Because I could say that to any girl too, and that would be the reaction, but usually it would only be the reaction with 7s and below. A 10 has already heard that compliment a bunch of times, so if anything, it completely puts you in the category of just another guy. Be careful with that. I'm asking if I give her number next time on a note. No, stop being a bitch. Notes are for girls. Ask her like directly, in person, like a man. No, if you're ever gonna ask a woman for any kind of compliance, don't do it over a fucking note. All right, the exception to that rule for any of the fucking meticulous nerds out there, yes, texting is fine if you can't see her in person. But for the most part, yeah, don't be a little bitch. Ask her in person. You're a man. Deal with the awkwardness. All right, let's see. Um, oh no, bro just broke up with me over a mistake I made, but still checked. Already read that one. America has modernized cheating. America didn't do shit. That's been biology. Biology has dictated that people will get out of situations that aren't as favorable to their chances of survival or replication when those situations aren't favorable anymore. So yeah, it's cheating isn't even a word our ancestors used. Like really think about that. It's a very common but new concept. It's a very new like cheating. I get it. Our lives are wrapped up around the idea of it. Oh, cheating, cheating is bad. You're a bad person. But if you really look at it, man, cheating only exists as a consequence that we created. It's not real, well, as far as biology is concerned. Anyway, I'm not saying you should cheat. I'm not condoning cheating. If you, don't break your promises, dude. If you're gonna make promises, don't break them. With that said, I do think a lot of people make unrealistic promises. You know, what's the correlation between survivability and validation? Oh, I didn't read the rest of it. Can you put that back up for me, please? So I can get the context for that question. But yeah, cheating, yeah, it's not as big a deal as people think it is. I mean, not in the way people think it is. If you begin to look at cheating purely from a scientific point of view, you stop getting surprised by it and you stop getting completely shattered by it because it's just another function of our evolution. You feel me? What's the correlation between survivability and validation? Why is validation so important to them? Because validation is how they exist. So I like the way you asked the question because you kind of answered it by asking it like that. For women, validation is survivability. For them. For men, survivability is strength, fitness, power, intelligence. Things that actually help you survive the elements, the environment you're in, etc. For women, the thing that guarantees their survival is their ability to collaborate with others, especially men, right? What better way to secure collaboration than by getting validated by that person? So your validation to a woman is essentially like on an evolutionary level, the confirmation that you're willing to collaborate with them on some level. And as a result, help them with their chances of survival. Does that make sense? You being willing to validate her indicates to her that you're also willing to, share your time, your resources, scarce as they may be, your energy, your efforts, etc. It's a small like bat signal almost of a way of you telling her, hey, I'm willing to give myself to you in the event of, a saber-toothed tiger coming out and trying to kill us. I'm willing to throw myself in there and, allow you to run away unharmed, right? That's why, as we've evolved, compliments are such a massive validation. Even things like Instagram likes. Instagram likes didn't exist in caveman days. But now they're a form of validation because if you're willing to really think about that concept. It doesn't even make any sense. Really, I push a button and that means anything? It doesn't. But to them it does because you bothered pushing the button at all. And as men, as we are reptilian creatures, there is a massive correlation between the likes we give and the kind of things we give those likes to. So yeah, of course they see it as validation. Being recognized means they weren't ostracized from the tribe, which is directly related. Exactly. That's a nice way to summarize it. Well done, Dimitri. Let's see. What do you do if you give a compliance test and she doesn't comply? You indicate disinterest of some kind, and then you give another compliance test that's smaller. What's going on, Asami? How you doing? How you doing, Abubakar? Been a while, Abubakar. Where you been? Let's see. Teacher, what is it to be a proper male? I don't know about being a proper male. As far as biology goes, that's just, the XY chromosome, I guess. But to be a proper man is to have a high tolerance for pain, is to be disciplined, to be strong, to be fit, and to be intelligent, to be competent in all areas, at least above average. You feel me? Let's see. Ooh, y'all hear that? My sternum. Isn't that just reconditioning yourself? Why do you refer to it as hypnotic rhythm? Because it's a rhythm. You enter a rhythm. Have you read the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill? If you read that book, you'll understand why I call it that. Go and see why. Go and read that book. Is it good game if you compliment her, compliment her hair? Her hair is black like others, basic, and she questions it. So the fact that she's questioning it in itself alone tells you how bad the compliment is. If you compliment a woman and she questions the compliment itself, that means she's not really questioning the compliment. She's questioning your intentions behind the compliment, which is bad. Which means you gave a bad compliment, or in this context, a compliment that doesn't make any sense, which is normal. Like, why would she accept a compliment that she knows you gave but wasn't heartfelt? Didn't make any sense, was given too soon. You don't know her enough to give her a compliment like that, you know what I mean? So yeah, she has every right to question that, and you should be more careful how you give your compliments. You should be a lot more careful about how you distribute your validation, guys. It's very important. Yeah, so what do you think about Hypnotic? Ultimate checkpoint, is it good for you? Absolutely. Like, that's how you get into God mode. That's how you become a sage. Is when you start being the person. Like, that's what hypnotic rhythm is that you've become the person that you're no longer someone that's trying to achieve discipline, or someone that's trying to be the best, most disciplined version of themselves. You are disciplined now. You are synonymous with discipline. Like David Goggins is at that level. Like, no one's gonna think David Goggins is disciplined. People will think of David Goggins as the epitome of discipline. Does that make sense? So yeah, it's very good for you. You get a lot done. That's the first most important part. I mean, maybe not the most important part, but like, I call it God shit, or being a sage, or God level, because that's when you really transcend your humanity. To be that level of disciplined and to have it be on autopilot like that, that is what being a God is. Is completely ignoring, or maybe not completely, but for the most part ignoring all your biological impulses. Because our biological impulses are what anchor us down to the human condition. Our ability to transcend that is essentially what being God is. Now, why do you think Jesus got tempted in the wilderness 3 times after fasting for, what was it, 40 days and 40 nights? The devil shows up, and what is the first thing the devil does? What is the very first thing the devil does? Tempts him with food. Hey, you haven't eaten in a while. You hungry than a motherfucker. I can see your ribs. Why don't you turn that stone over there into bread? Why do you think the devil did that? Trying to bring him back down. You've transcended humanity and gone on this crazy fast that most people would never have the discipline for. Come back down to humanity. Here's bread. Jesus didn't accept it, obviously. Then he goes, what was the next temptation? I'm always mix up the order. It's either the one where he takes him up to the top of the mountain and goes, here's all the riches of the world. I'll give them all to you if you bow down to me. And then there's the other one where he goes to the top of a cliff and goes, hey, you said you're God, right? And your heavenly Father has ministering angels. Why don't you jump off this cliff and the angels come and grab you? Right, so it's tempting his need for physical sustenance, human condition, tempting his need for human gratification, right? Greed, here's the riches of the world. And then tempting his ego. Oh, you're God, right? Tell your angels to catch you when you fall off. See? So these are all just parts of our human existence, our biological impulses. Being able to transcend all those things, that's what makes you God. It's dope. All right. Ryu, link that shit again. I didn't see it before. Let's see. I've read it, but in the books it was negative. Do you mean it as an upward spiral? No. It wasn't. Go read the book again. Hypnotic rhythm is not negative. The devil uses hypnotic rhythm. That's what the entire book is about. It's like, listen, there's a known law of the universe called hypnotic rhythm. And anything that gets into that rhythm stays in that rhythm. It's very hard to break out. I, as a devil, well, not me, obviously, but that's what the devil said in the book. Is like, he, as a devil, he uses that law as a way to get people and keep people trapped in negativity. But it can be used positively, and that's the point of the book. That's the like, it's the devil's toy that he uses, but it's a toy that anyone can use if you know what you're doing. So go and read that book again. Clearly, you didn't read it with the correct context. So I keep telling you guys, read books more than once, my guy. It's very, very important. Let me see. Okay, there we go. My bad, I had to scroll back. Let's see. You would have liked the siren. She's tall and stuff. Oh, bad. That's good. Big Dog, thanks for everything all the way from South Africa. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to SA. Shout out to Cape Town. Shout out to Joburg. Also, you mean the highest level of is still discipline, but then automated. Exactly. That is what hypnotic rhythm helps you to do, is automate discipline. And that's when you become disciplined. That's when you become a god walking this plane of existence, because you've completely transcended your humanity. Let's see. Also, she stopped talking to other guys besides me since a week. Good. And people say they are less loyal. That's funny. Don't be fooled, though, you know. If she likes you a lot, that's cool, but, you know, be careful. Women are double-edged swords. Don't forget that. Don't get too carried away. Bro, why are lives always glitching? Am I glitching right now? If you're in a relationship and you're still going to cheat on your girl, I don't really cheat. I just have girls in my life and that all know about each other. So I'm not really cheating on anybody. So I don't know how to answer that question. I just don't lie. You know, isn't that easier? Instead of lie to a girl and tell her she's the only one, just tell her there's others and introduce them. It's way easier to do that. That way you're not cheating. I'm not cheating on anybody. So, you know, do with that information what you must. Alright, there we go. I think I solved that problem. Can you repeat what you said about the selfish and selfless I read that one too. Check out Ecom Side Hustle. Cool. Is that someone I should know? Ecom Side Hustle doesn't sound like someone that I should be recommended, but I'm guessing this person is on YouTube. Yeah. Ecom Side Hustle sounds like a channel name from back in 2018. Ecom Side Hustle. Alright, I'm tripping. I gotta go to YouTube, not TikTok. What's going on with Ecom Side Hustle? It's just some guy. It's just some guy. What's wrong with him? Or what's good with him? I don't know. Let me know. Let's see. E-com is a digital store. It's a way to make money. Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. I did that for a while. Y'all know I used to dropship, right? Let's see. He's getting fleeced. Met this girl, his girl, and got married in a month, and then bought her a Lambo truck. Oh, he's getting. Oh, okay, that's fair. he's gonna need a product I'm creating right now soon. That's funny, but yeah, rookie mistake. He's gonna get railed. No, poor guy. He's gonna get railed. Is there any relation between imprinting and them feeling like they can't leave? Oh yeah, for sure. Because the imprint makes them feel like they can't get that level of emotional investment into anyone ever again. Let's see. Jason's alive early. I'm in the gym, bro. Give me some time. Oh, yeah, do what you gotta do. I think you should be back now. Jason, we need to finalize everything. Oh yeah, sure. We'll do that today. Actually, we'll do that today. I see your vid about Jonathan Majors and Megan Good, and my question was, should we act like you said on your video if you were in the talking stage? No, not in the talking stage. Like, always put things in context, guys. That's a man that has a woman that's in his life, that they're consequential. If it's in the talking stage, who cares, man? It's just some girl you just know. It's whatever. Context is important, okay, guys? Not for talking stage, for girlfriend, for consequential relationship. Can you be in the state of hypnotic rhythm and still have women without falling back to humanity? If anything, women help you with it. Women help you with it. Because again, the discipline is choosing. The discipline is knowing how to say no. It's not just the saying no over and over and over again. It's learning how and when. Does that make sense? So women are actually a good way to do it. Earlier you said a woman shouldn't feel like they can't leave, but imprinting does the opposite, right? You're mixing two entirely different things entirely. A woman shouldn't feel like they can't leave because you don't want to block the exits. That's what I meant. We're talking about that in relation to arranged marriages. A woman that feels like she has no exits to leave is not going to be happy to stay. All she's going to do is look for an exit to leave. Imprinting is entirely different when we talk about that, because that's investment. That's emotional investment. That has more to do with how much she feels like she benefits from the situation and how little motivation she has to leave to begin with. That's an entirely different thing. Okay? I had just joined the live. That's fair. Usually a little confused. That's cool. Let's see. Go away. I hate having to reject these so-called join live whatever thingies. Let's see. So your level of selflessness or generosity should have limits and be based off of compliance. It should be based off of you, your identity. How do you understand if she's the right woman to have a relationship with? That's an interesting question because I know where it's coming from. Let me put it like this. You need experience, first of all. You need experience. There's no shortcut to learning how to vet women except for dealing with a lot of women. Because I can give you a list of things you should and shouldn't look out for, but that's completely useless because you're not me. And so you don't prioritize the same things I do. The real answer to your question, the best answer to your question, not the bullshit answer, is literally go out there and deal with as many women as you can till you have a feel for what it is you're looking for. That's how you know which girl is right and which girl is wrong. Because when it comes to being right or wrong for you, it's really just a compatibility thing. You know what I mean? It's really just is she willing to go along with your bullshit type of thing? Is this a girl that you don't mind existing with? You know? Let's see. A lot of nerds love this. I remember reading that. That was funny. Right there. Wagwan, brother. How you doing, Will Deluxe? Nice and consistent. I like that. Your timing is so random. I know, right? My work is random. That's why my timing is random. Let's see. I read that one. Thanks, y'all. I'll go back and watch your videos too. No problem. Please do. This month's Bible. I read that one. Dope spectacles. Thank you. But what if you win? Doesn't it make you stronger? What were we talking about there? I have no idea. While you're waiting for the question to be answered, like the live. Indeed, like the live. Do you know Charisma on Command? And can I use some of the value I get from my game? It sounds familiar. Charisma on Command. Oh yeah, I know Charisma on Command. That's that one skinny white dude, right? Hey, I know him. Yeah, where is he right now? What has he been up to? He has some good stuff. Yeah, why not? He has some good stuff. I don't know if it's on my level or I know it's not on my level, but he has good stuff. He has like some really cool basic psychology stuff. One girl I'm texting has that goofy 3-month rule. What's the fastest way to break that? Fuck other girls. Honestly, here's the real answer. Because if you're getting the 3-month rule, that means she don't fuck with you like that. Even when girls have a 3-month rule, they don't even mention that shit when it comes to me. I haven't had a girl tell me the 3-month rule in, I want to say, maybe 5-6 years now. Maybe a little more. But the point is, women only bring that rule up or tell you that that's their rule when they genuinely don't have like a strong attraction towards you. If the attraction is lacking, then they have no motivation to, do anything with you. They don't have a sense of urgency around you. So the real problem here isn't the rule itself. The real problem here is you didn't set things to make her feel like you're going to be willing to go through that lengthy process of the boyfriend experience. Because that's really what she did. She's putting you through the boyfriend program. And you don't want that. That means you demonstrate like you made her feel too comfortable around you too quickly. Not too comfortable to the point where you're in the friend zone, but clearly comfortable enough to the point where she no longer sees you as a sexual entity anymore. How would you learn how to speak better, and how would you learn how to speak better? Any people you listen to or advice on that? You speak better by practicing. I will give some good advice though. Learn to train your brain for long-form content. Learn to train your brain for very long-form content. I don't really watch YouTube videos unless they're at least an hour long. I don't feel comfortable clicking on any YouTube video if it's less than 25 minutes, honestly. Like, what are we really doing? Because here's the thing. You learn two things from watching a long form. One, you learn how to focus your attention on one thing for a long period of time, which helps your discipline and your focus in general. But two, you also learn that it's really impossible to jam-pack real, useful, practical value in a small, short video. If you want to know shit and learn how to speak correctly, listen to people that have the value to give for, a long period of time. She didn't mention it directly, but posted it on social media. Oh, okay, that's different then. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Pretend like you didn't see it. Act accordingly. You know what I mean? Literally pretend like you didn't see it and just treat her like a girl you intend to fuck tomorrow. If that's the case, if she just said it. Those are the rules for other guys. That's the rule she set up for other guys. That doesn't apply to you. You're the guy that's gonna fuck her tomorrow. Okay, cool. Bro just said I have to cure my brain rot. That's funny. But yes you do. Yes you do. You have to cure your brain rot. I don't really believe anyone can be successful if they're not listening to long form content or because it takes that same level of focus and drive to actually become successful to begin with. So if your entire life is full of bite-sized bits of this and that, bits of catchphrases and cliches of information, you're gonna have a bite-sized life. You're gonna have a life that's just microwavable. Does that make sense? Am I even making sense when I say that? Like, you don't want a life that's not comprehensive enough, and you get that kind of life when you're not getting the kind of information to create something more. And you can't get that kind of information from a fucking 1-minute TikTok video. It's just not gonna happen. Sorry. Could you share the audiobooks you've been enjoying lately, preferably ones on YouTube? I have been listening up on a lot of Neville Goddard again. That's pretty good. Which one was I listening to last night? Because I fell asleep to it. Feeling is a Secret, I think, is the one I was listening to last night. I usually jump between that and this other one. What's it? I'll be listening to the fucking things. I don't even be looking at the fucking titles. The one where he was talking about Jesus in an allegory form. It was very interesting. I forgot the name of it. But yeah, a lot of Neville Goddard recently. Let's see. Can y'all stop pinning? I'm trying to get my question answered. Oh, fair enough. Or just pin yours. Can you make videos explaining best Bible game lessons? You said it's the highest form of game. Is that what you mean? Oh yeah, I will. But don't worry. Like, I gotta, really make that one special. The AI pictures, the sources I gotta cite, all that good stuff. I spoke over DMs to the guy who runs Rushdie Bazaar's TikTok, and he said they invited you on their show. Oh yes, they did. They did. I got super busy, but I'm definitely showing up. Absolutely. I'm definitely showing up. I just got to get a lot of, so much stuff I gotta do in the background. But once I'm done with that, it's me and Arash like this. I'm actually planning to fly out to San Diego to go see him. I want to train at IMC for a little bit. Want to see what that's like. Shout out to Arash. How you doing, Arash? I love you, man. I really do. Let's see. I approached 10 girls in the past week after not approaching for years. Damn, well done, man. Approach more, though. Approach 10 tomorrow, okay? Adultery is when a man sleeps with another man's wife or when a woman sleeps with another man outside of marriage. That's a very convenient definition for men who don't want to lose their wives. But that's not the real definition. Oh, so it's only when the wife is fucking outside? Interesting. Very interesting. Again, I'm not saying anyone should do it or that it's right or anything. I'm just saying I know bias when I see it. Okay? What do you usually do if you've been dating a girl and you've been yourself is too much tension or too tension inducing? Well, you get rid of that girl. Honestly, it's because you don't want to go through the process. I'm telling you this from experience. You don't want to go through the process of stifling yourself so a girl doesn't feel too much tension around you. It's just it gets fucking exhausting. Just get rid of her. Can't a woman use a 3-month rule to get exclusivity? Oh, absolutely, for sure. But and this is what I always tell women, right? It's never gonna be the kind of guy you want. You really okay? Let's be honest. Not to brag or anything, but I'm very attractive, and I'm not just saying that from like a physical point of view. Like, yeah, I'm physically hot, but I am a confident guy. I am a very confident, very ambitious type of guy. Why the fuck would I wait for any woman for 3 months when I got options? It's just common sense. Like, why? And there's no way I'll like a girl I just met enough to do that for. This is not gonna happen. So the 3-month rule, I always tell women, only works on the men that you don't really want. It works on the backup men. It works on the weak men that you're eventually gonna leave for a guy like me anyway. So why suffer? Why do all that? This is why me and Locario were saying this a few months ago, right? Remember when we were saying this, guys? When we were talking about how a lot of the dating advice out there for women is it helps them to get men that they don't really want. That's what we're talking about. 3-month rule. What other one do they do and say? Like, I hear a lot of these fucking videos on TikTok and I'm baffled. Like, what kind of men do these women think they're gonna have? You're not gonna get Superman with this kind of advice. You're gonna get Clark Kent. I'm not saying you shouldn't. If you want Clark Kent, go get what? Get you a Clark Kent. Nothing wrong with that. I'm wearing glasses right now. Shit. Nothing wrong with that. Get you a soft little boy. Get you a guy that doesn't necessarily stand up for himself like that. Get you a man that will lie to you because he has to save his own skin because he's scared to deal with the consequences of telling you the truth. Get you that kind of man. It will work. You will get that man. But if you want a motherfucker like me, that's a lot less stifled. A lot less like I'm stifled at all. A guy that will fucking die telling the truth. You know, I don't give a fuck. Look at the people I admire. Jesus Christ, Arashti Bazaar, Patrice O'Neal. Know all those people have in common? Persecution. Those are the people I willingly follow. So if you want a man that can survive the world and protect the world from you, you're not going to use the 3-month rule to get us. It's just not going to work. Sorry. I've got too many options for that. Is reassurance or bringing up her confidence closer to yours not an option? It is, but again, be prepared for the amount of work you got to do. Like, it's one thing if she can genuinely or generally survive the tension you represent, but then there's these 1 or 2 things out there that it might be pushing her too much past her comfort zone. That's different. As opposed to that everything you are makes her uncomfortable. Come on, son. Do yourself a favor. Get rid of her. Get rid of her. It's too much work. Too much fucking work. Let's see. Tension already did that. God has nature. Yes, indeed. What ways to create tension within the first 20 seconds of an interaction? You say something to her that's a push-pull. You give a compliment, wrapped with something negative. You go up to her and you say, "You have the most beautiful resting bitch face I've ever seen in my life." Say that. That's how you create tension. Create confusion. Confusion is another form of tension. Sometimes if there's a lot going on in her life already, she can handle less of my tension. Don't ever give them an excuse like that. No. You're being too lenient there. And I'm going to tell you why. Sure, your timing in entering her life might be off, and that's cool. That happens. But I would still assume fully like you're the most important thing in it from the very jump. Because you are. You should carry yourself like it. So, no, you shouldn't be like, oh, but she might not be able to handle me because she already has so much going on. Like, fuck that. If she can't make space for me, fuck that. I'm out of here. Because here's the thing. Women aren't going to be that forgiving for you. You know, they're not going to be that forgiving. They're going to be like, oh, no space? Fuck it, I'm out. You know what I mean? Is there any... Oh, you read that one. I'm definitely the most important, but at some point, it becomes socially uncalibrated, I feel like. To just leave? What's socially uncalibrated about that? If anything, it's more socially calibrated to be like, you know what, you have too much going on right now, I'm out of here. That's social calibration. That's social calibration. It's to recognize she's under duress and to not add to her stress and leave. That's social calibration. Read the mystery method and read the mystery method and realized that all the good pickup artists speak and teach like him. Literally. Like I keep telling you guys, the mystery method is the backbone of game. Everything else we talk about comes from there. You know. No, like harsh tension creation when her life is going downhill already. Oh, okay. Just create it. Maybe not harsh, but like no matter what, you still have to beat out whatever's going on in her life. So it's almost like you have to be harsher. Like I hope you get that. You don't go, oh, I feel sorry for her. She has too much already. If you're going to create tension, you have to beat out whatever the fuck is more tense than you. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. How long did it take you to have your first roster? I mean, from the moment I don't even know how to answer that question. Because when I had my first roster, it happened by accident. I didn't really go out to have a roster. That's the irony to it. The guys who are like, I want a roster, they almost never get one. You get a roster by accident. You just start dating a bunch of girls. And then a few of them you really like. And the next thing you know, you realize, oh, I kind of have an inbuilt routine to seeing these girls. Cool. That's how it works. It's not like It's not like a business plan. Oh, this month we have to hit this quota, and then for Q2 we have to like. Nah, it's just you're dating a bunch of girls. You find all of them attractive. Some of them you really like to spend time with after you're done fucking. Boom. Roster. You know, I've got some new numbers. Somebody get me some rubbers. It's gonna be a busy week. Thank you, Sensei. No problem, man. No problem. It's very easy to do. That's the best part of the game. The easiest part of the game, in my opinion, is the initial part. Just the volume, getting all the numbers in your phone. You know. I've been harsher and beat out everything else, but there have been negative side effects. Okay, this is a girl that's been with you for how long now? Which girl are we talking about? Let's see. Ask your questions here, Jason will answer it. Yes, I will. Thanks for the thing in there, Dimitri. Stress is the same thing. So it's just like pain tolerance and handling tension or being disciplined. Yes. Attention for new solo leveling season. Is the new season coming out soon? Because I need to know, man. I need to know if that season is coming out. I need to know if the next season of Classroom with the Elite is coming out. Like, hurry up. Daddy needs his fix. Also, where's the next season of Kakegurui? Also, are we ever going to get a season 2 of No Game No Life? I'll be pissed. I'll be pissed if we don't. 2 to 3 months with lots of emotional swings in between. Oh, okay, cool. Is this a girl you're already sleeping with or no? I want to ask a question, but you're way behind on comments. My bad, man. You know what? For a second, I'm just going to ignore all the highlighted messages so I can focus on catching up, okay? Tension is lack of certainty. Yes. a lack of uncertainty is a type of tension for sure. You go through the interview light, you'll see everything I talk about there when it comes to the tension section. New setup, Pookie. I guess I've come live here twice, I think. So yeah, new setup. Why do women already read that one? Color. Okay, all right. I think I'm catching up now. What's the relation between survivability? Okay. Okay, there we go. It's just that I don't want to put her on the spot if there's other customers. But if I'm the only customer, I'll ask for her number. Okay, so she's like working a job and you're meeting her at that job. I see. Okay. If that's... Okay, I guess writing your number at the back of the receipt is fine in that case. My bad. I assumed it was a girl like you run into in a more palatable... Why did I say it's palatable there? No, wrong word. In a more conducive environment. But yeah, if that's the case, write your number in the back of the receipt. Tell her to text you later. Just so you don't get in the way of the next customer. Let's see. Would you agree on the hierarchy of hair color? It's blonde, clean black, brunette. I've been talking to... talking to what? Okay, well, hierarchy, blonde, clean black, brunette, that's all a preference thing, man. I got all those, so I don't really give a fuck. I care more about proportions than hair color. That's way more important, because that's like directly, I'm more direct linked to healthy genetics. Let's see. We don't care where you are, bro. We just care that you're here on live. Sure enough, type shit. I spoke over messages to the guy who runs... Oh, yeah, I already read that one. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be on Arash's soon. Wait for it. What do you think about hypnotic rhythm, the ultimate checkpoint? Is it good for human beings? Yes. You should be all trying to achieve that. 1 o'clock live is different, indeed. Have you reached a state or a step yet? I wouldn't say quite there yet, honestly. Professor Bass? Yes, it is I. Bro led him to the context. My compliment was meant to be questioned. It wouldn't work other way. Oh, fair enough. Let's see. Yes, with bread. What are we talking about? It better be about going beans. About going beans and agege. Delicious. The British call it beans and toast. Nonsense. Agege and ewa going. Beans and toast. What's the mindset you should adopt to do things from a place of power? Adopt the mindset that you are powerful. And assume that everything you do has to have power behind it. Let's see. I ate a frozen pizza still frozen. That's a different kind of down bad. A frozen pizza still frozen is wild work. Diabolical. Preposterous. Wow. Frozen pizza? Still frozen. Y'all crazy. Oh, my girl says hi, guys. I guess she's on live somewhere. Hey, babe. Can you be in the state of hypnotic rhythm and still... I already read that one. Snore. I already read that one. Okay, I think I'm catching up now. Give me a second. Okay. Making out with this girl and I stopped immediately, like I'm not interested, and all of a sudden she tries to force herself to kiss me and all that. Sounds about right. You took away validation, she wants it back. Well, I'm a beginner in the game and can't afford the course. I'm going to use that for now. Fair enough, man. Don't have to buy anything from me, guys. Use the free resources. Trust me, they're amazing. Let's see. Bridget said that was a funny comment, by the way, Monsif. Bridget said I have to cure my brain rot. Yes, cure your brain rot. You can't get rich otherwise. I'm sorry. Getting rich requires too much focus and attention. Yeah, feel me? How can you briefly explain how to psychologically position yourself above a girl that you're talking to? It's everything you do that makes her chase your validation. The push-pulling, the teasing, the flirting, the being disagreeable and risking offending her. That's really what gives you a higher psychological position, is showing her that you are willing to say things that she might not agree with or she might get offended by. That's what makes you, from a psychological point of view, better than her. Because how would you treat someone that you believe is better than you? With a lot of reverence and respect. If you don't treat them with that, and that means that you believe you're better than them. And whatever you believe, she'll believe. So that's the summary of that. Also, where's the Supercell video at? You mentioned you had one in your drafts in the previous live. Oh yeah, it's already up. I put it up last night actually. Like, go check it. It's literally there. Go check my page. I had to re-upload it. I literally uploaded that video on July the 9th. And TikTok, till this day, still has it in processing. So I had to save it, take it back up, increase the speed like a little bit so TikTok doesn't think it's the same video, because they'll flag it down for originality if you upload the exact same video. But yeah, it's up there. It's up there. And I stand by everything I said in that video too. Let's see. Back bays. Oh, what's going on, Mexicans? I'm happy you're back. Yo, just I'm gonna start approaching in front of their boyfriends. I don't give a fuck anymore. Good. Like, there's nothing wrong with. There's only two kinds of guys you'll run into if you approach a guy's girl in front of them. The guy that's actually cool, right? A guy like me that'll just take it as a compliment and be like, "Oh, babe, come on, give me your number. Don't be rude," right? That kind of guy, which is very rare, by the way. Or you run into the majority of the guys, which are guys that like do some awkward shit because they don't know how to handle it. Either they try to get offended, or I've literally seen it where I approached a girl in an aisle. I'm talking to her. We're flirting a little bit. Her boyfriend shows up. I guess he's looking for her, and he shows up. And she plays it off nice, by the way. She introduces him immediately. And by the way, this is my boyfriend. And, it was like, "Oh, yeah, well, nice to meet you. I was just talking to her. I was just telling her how goofy I think her little slides are." I think I was making fun of her for wearing some, like, weird slides or whatever. And then he goes, "Oh, yeah, you good, bro. Go ahead and walk away." And I'm like, "Hey, I don't know what that's all about, but I get it, man. You're all protective. Nice to meet you." I literally put my hand out to shake him, and he just kind of like looks at me up and down and like leaves me hanging. I'm like, "Hey, whatever." So I give his girl a fist bump and I leave. I go to a different aisle. I think I talk to a different girl or whatever. And then I eventually go get, because I'm always shopping for something. I'm not just going there for the girls. So I think I got scones or whatever, some unhealthy shit. And I go to the front to go pay for it. And guess what? Him and her are like in a full-on screaming match. Like, full-on screaming match. It's the wildest shit ever. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, that's gonna happen. But, who cares? No one can beat your ass anyway, especially you, Mexicans. You're a big guy. Like, fuck it, you don't really say, Glasses right now, she... That's funny. You inspire me to grow my beard back. Good. Now that's the kind of inspiration I want to be leaving on this planet. Absolutely. Grow your fucking beard back. Grow a beard. Be masculine. Be tough. Alright? I keep telling you guys, the more masculine you look, the easier you have it attracting feminine women. Because feminine women want masculine men. So if you look and present more masculine, you will have more feminine women in your life. It's great. The only guys that complain about, "Oh, these women are masculine," are clean-shaven motherfuckers. There's a reason for that. You will never see a man with a full beard talking about, "Oh, no, she's too masculine." We don't experience that shit. We got beards, bitch. My boy knows, hey, let's get big together, man. I can't get big, man. I gotta stay lean. I gotta stay lean. I gotta fight. I gotta stay lean. But I mean, I'm not too small, so I'm fine. Sometimes if there's a lot. Oh, I didn't write that one. Attention. Got some new numbers. Congratulations. How do we relieve tension? Compliments are a good way to do it, honestly. But I always tell you guys, once you create the tension, make sure she complies to you somehow. Give her a compliance test, then you relieve the tension. That way she knows that she only gets the relief from the tension you make her feel when she does something for you. Again, this is not something you overtly state. It'll be like in the back of her mind type shit. Does that make sense? It'll be something that her subconscious registers. You feel me? Let me see. Okay. Let's see. Have any of your biddies met each other? How did that go? It's always awkward at first sometimes, but for the most part, it's all good, man. It's all good. Like, it's whatever. Like, again, to even pull that kind of stuff off, you have to have women with really high self-esteem. You're not going to do that with women that, don't have a certain level of belief in themselves. How do you manage handling multiple wives under one roof? This is something a mentor of mine told me. It's actually better to not live with them. It's actually way better to not live with them. You have your house and then you have their houses. It's the best way, because then there's the competition anxiety is always going to be there, but at the very least, it's not going to spill into everyday life. You know what I mean? That's really the best way to do it. Don't live under the same roof with all of them. Night game versus day game. I find that night game leads to less follow-up. Literally. I've been saying this for how long now, guys? 2 years? 3 years now? I am a day game guy. Straight up. It's just a better form of game. It's more consequential long-term in terms of there's better follow-up. And the reason, by the way, there's better follow-up is the context under which you're meeting these girls, the environment you're meeting these girls in, and the level of competition that's surrounding you whenever you're approaching these women. Night game is for it's for guys that want to play game in easy mode. But women know that. Women understand that, and that's why they don't take those guys seriously. Day game is king. Day game is king. And a lot of the skills you learn in night game don't translate as well to day game as the skills you learn in day game translate into night game. Like, if you run enough day game, you now know how to run night game. You'll probably have to learn a few more things like, how to maneuver and the social engineering of night game. But other than that, all those skills in day game translate really well to night game. You feel me? I was wondering why do you need to live with a woman the other day? Society programmed us. Literally. All the major OGs I know at some point either never lived with a woman or literally kicked them out. Like, there's a few guys, I think Arash actually did that. Arash kicked his girls out. I'm not even kidding. I might be wrong, but shout out to Arash. And for those of you that are fans of Arash, go and confirm for me. I think he did. Arash was living with his girls for the longest time. And then at one point he just went, get rid of these bitches. I'm by the house across the street. They stay there. I stay in this one with the boys. Literally. These are girls he's been with for literally over a decade. So, yeah, if he's doing it, you know that there's some validity to that, Let's see. It's never coming. What's never coming? About to close the deal, but her life being chaotic right now and logistics are underway. This is the long distance girl, by the way, the Italian one. Okay. I'm being a peer protector, hitting extremes with her out imprinting everything in her life. But with everything said and done, should I not calibrate backwards the other way? Well, if you calibrate backwards, you wouldn't be such a peer protector now, would you? You would just be a protector who will be willing to provide, which you should be. Listen, to get her to make a sacrifice like see you long distance, that requires her to know that you're someone that she can survive around. So you do have to have the willingness to provide. You do have to you have to build some comfort with this girl. There's no way around that. What did you say about the mindset of doing things in a place of power? From a place of power, you gotta have. You don't think about doing things powerfully. Think about doing things as a powerful person. That is a very small thing, and it sounds like semantics, but I promise you, it's a big deal once you really understand the difference. You have to do things as a powerful entity, not just like in as powerful a way as you can. Because an ant can do something as powerfully as it can, but it's still an ant. As opposed to a lion doing just about anything. You see what I'm saying? Let's see. All right, I think I've caught up to messages for once in my life, right, guys? All right. So I concluded my position. Jace has tons of free courses. Use it? Yes. W girl? Yes. My boy knows. Hey, let's get big together. Oh yeah, I read that one. It got the beard and long hair comb blow. We him indeed. In bed. What are you talking about? Dark game? It has been a while. All right, maybe. I'll see. We'll see. If I live with one girl, how do I bring over my other ones, or do I just go to their place all the time? You can go to their place all the time. It's easier that way. Or you can tell you're gonna stay in the fucking room. Or something. Like, the only thing let's put it like this. What's wrong with you bringing girls to the house to your girl? What's really the resistance there or the pushback? It's you caring about what your girl might say. That's really what it is, right? And sure, maybe you think this girl is so important to you, you don't want to hurt her feelings, whatever, blah, blah. But for the most part, that's the only point of resistance, is what your girl might say. So you got two options. One, be like, fuck that, I don't care, and bring the girls to the house anyway. Or you can decide to be a little more benevolent in your approach and be like, okay, babe, go to the room, I got this girl coming over, love you. Or maybe just go to the other girls' houses. Do that. It depends on how much stress you're willing to go through. I was wondering, why do you need to live with a women's society program? That's for that indeed, man. It's like night game is learning to drive an auto and day game is learning to drive a manual. Literally. That's actually a very fucking good analogy. But like, multiply that by 10. Literally. Yeah. No Game No Life Season 2. I'm gonna need that. I'm at the gym. Good. How do I increase my perceived value? The best way, honestly, is to increase your actual value. Your actual value is a bad way to put it. What we refer to as perceived value are the things that are noticeable and obvious about you. Your demonstrated value, right? You could do the hard work. You could do the work of doing all the things that makes you more palatable to other people from like a pure perception point of view. Or you could actually work on your self-actualization and then work on learning how to demonstrate that. Because I think that's the best way. It's self-actualize and then demonstrate your self-actualization. Go and do hard shit. Go and do difficult things. Go and take massive risks. And then present those to the world. That, I think, in my opinion, would be the best way to increase your perceived value. Yo, I just called up my boy to join the live. Maybe you'll show him the light. He's a monogamist. Listen, man, I've grown tired of telling men to stop lying to themselves. If he wants to lie to himself like that, let him, man. It's okay. Besides, like, how unfair of me to be like, I have multiple women in my life, therefore you have to. Like, who the fuck am I to tell you that, right? It's your life, dude. Do what you want to do. If you want to have one girl, whatever, man. Who cares? I've given up because I've learned very quickly. A lot of men just will never get over that fear. It is what it is. Most men are bred and programmed to live their lives in benefit to the woman, to women in general. Hey, it is what it is. Someone has to play the role of Goofy so I look better. As harsh as that sounds, if weak men don't exist, then strong men don't look as strong. I mean, you know what I mean? Like there has to be something to compare to, so we look even better. It is what it is. I meant like I hit pure protector as in the extreme in terms of things I did. Sure. But yeah, I begin to add a little more comfort in there. The woman who has no definitive interest in me, can that change? When you mean definitive interest, what do you mean? With that said, like the thing about game is all things are subject to change. It just depends on how much work you're willing to do. And for the most part, in most cases, with women you just met, the work is never worth it, really. So as much as I can say, like, yeah, you can definitely change that, who cares? Besides, ironically, the easiest way to change it, if at all she doesn't have any interest in you right now, is to just go talk to other women. When she sees that other women are interested in you, then there's a good chance her curiosity for you goes up. But there's also a good chance that by the time that happens, you don't care about her anymore. It's just how the game works, baby. There's also a good chance that by the time that happens, you don't care about her anymore. It's just how the game works, baby. There's a good chance you won't anyway. You can always correct. It's fine. Your take on Love Island. I've never actually seen Love Island, to be honest. I've never actually seen it. Oh yeah, I gotta go soon. I've never actually seen Love Island, but yeah, I'll probably watch it at some point when my girl is what it is. The body's primary priority is survival and replication. What is the mind's main priority? Self-actualization. The mind seeks to know itself. That is the mind's main priority. How suffering of Jesus interpreted into the righteousness of Christianity. It's like multiple parts. I don't even know if I have the time to talk about all that. I'm lagging? Damn. All right, listen, I gotta go anyway, guys. I love you guys. I'll see you guys next time. I appreciate you